Open to be Agile, Podcast Episode 10, Part 2 of Agile Jumpstarter. Let's open this podcast with a quote. I want to stand as close as I can to the edge without going over. Out on the edge, you will see all kinds of things you can't see from the center. By Kurt Vonnegut. As you progress in your Agile journey, I could tell you, taking the time to observe will be an invaluable tool. So many people are overwhelmed and constantly drowning in this world of busyness. It's busy, 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 rush, rush, rush. They don't think to stop and take in some observation. Just observe what's happening. What is the problem at hand? What's amazing with what we're doing right now? Who are these people? What good things are they doing? How are we operating together? What can we learn from all this? What might work? Observe. What's being said, how people are operating, how systems work, and how it all comes together. Just take time to do it. What's so amazing about this quote is, don't be afraid to go out to the edge. Don't get consumed by the fire and the disruption of just staying in the center. Go to the edge and get that view, like the view from a top of a mountain, the view from the top of the Eiffel Tower. We're like standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon. Just imagine how far you could see, how much you take in, and what you could learn by having that observation or having that point of view. One of the training workshops I conduct with teams and people within organizations is this power of observation. It's so great. People see this efficiency. They see how people operate. They hear what people say. And guess what? The people that are so busy doing it often overlook something valuable that somebody had said. Had they stopped and observed and thought about it and had the time to listen, that one statement or that one difference could have been huge for them. In this episode, we as leaders, we went to the edge to get a better view of ourselves. What have we learned from our journey? And then we wrote a letter to our younger selves who just so happens to be starting in the center, as do most people. We tend to start in the center. We're thrust into this environment. This was fun, and it was truly enlightening as leaders to write these letters, and we hope you'll be enlightened as well. Listen in and contact us. Let us know what you think of our podcast so far. What would be awesome is if you yourself, just as an experiment, wrote a letter to your own younger self, giving yourself advice. Give it a try. I challenge you. You'll see. It'll get you thinking in a different way. Feel free to share it with us. We'd enjoy that. Anyway, enjoy this episode, my friends. You ready to hear these stories that we wrote, or these letters that we wrote to ourselves, George? I hope they help you out. Yeah. The people of the podcast, there it is. Like I hand wrote this thing. Dear Jeff.
Dude, yours is a lot longer than mine. I thought we had a limit on these.
Well, what's the rule number one? First, break all the rules.
There you go.
I broke all the rules, so I'll go to the principal's office on this one.
We can trust Jeff to break the rules for length.
I'll read it really, really quick.
So do you want to go first, Jeff?
Yeah, sure. Cool. All right. Here we go. Dear Jeff, if I could offer you a bit of advice, here it goes. Learning about frameworks and reading the Agile Manifesto principles and values are as easy as it comes. The truth is, the workplace is very complex and problems are abound. It's not easy because we deal with very complex adaptive systems with many ultra-complex thinkers and people that have emotions, passions, pride, ideas, character traits that are brought to the table every day. And those emotions, thinking, and passion and pride can change day by day. To make matters worse, don't let me scare you here, there is a heavy demand on financial performance in the workplace. We have to make revenue, which mandates deadline pressure. You will be thrust into the middle of all this. I hope you're ready for this, because they should really categorize a lot of what we do into the workplace psychology category. It's a game, and a game where soft skills and working with lots of people will be the key tool you'll use to advance in this game. There's a saying, you can't please everybody, and that saying is true. So you must do the best you can, knowing that there will always be someone somewhere posing a challenge to you. Don't let that bother you. However, the trick is to build really strong relationships, build trust, and don't just do things right, do the right things. Remain positive and become a leader those around you can count on. The last thing I'll leave you with is find ways to make progress and improve things. Even if those things are just a little bunches of small victories, those small ones add up. Use small experiments to find best practices. Then if you find them, experiment on how you could scale them. Not everything will work, but the things that do and go on to become examples or role models for others will be worth more than all the other ones that have failed before you. What may work for one team may not work for another. All teams are different, and all teams have different problems to solve. Get back to the basics, Jeff. Exploit the problem. Engage the team to design a solution or a hypothesis that will solve the problem. Let them do it. Write out the steps with them. Build and conduct the experiment or the solution. Learn from it. Gather the data. Gather the feedback. Improve the solution, hypothesis, and improve the steps. Improve the build. Wash, rinse, and repeat. It's real simple. Kids are taught this in school. People are taught this in colleges and universities. It's the fundamental scientific method and engineering training. This is teaching that works and has stood the test of time for a long time, and this is basically the heart of Agile. You get something out of what you put into it, so put into it as much as you humanly can, and you will fly high like an eagle soaring above the Grand Canyon. Your elder self, Jeff Koors.
Love that.
That's awesome. There's a lot there.
Yes, there's a lot. There's a lot. Oh, so I'm ready to go next because I've been waiting this whole podcast to read my letter.
I'm so excited.
It's not as long as yours.
I broke the rules.
Dear Heidi, I know you've had great success at NASA and are all stoked about Agile stuff. You will look back at that 10 years from now in which every team and stakeholder was like that. You have heard the phrase, Agile is a mindset and people over process, but you don't yet know how it's distinct from the practices you think you know, but you don't really know yet. True agility is about decentralized decision-making. Speaking of which, read more about what makes a great team. How do the people on these teams know how to work together? Agile teams and businesses will flourish, but the journey in each place is longer than you think, and some are not ready. Agile is not just in IT. By the way, distributed Agile teams will become the norm. You will get to work remotely doing cool things. Go out and learn all you can from the community. I promise you it won't be a waste of time. You're on the right track. Don't compromise your ideals. Learn to visualize challenges in ways that resonate outside the team. Build trust with those around you and the world will open up. Your time is coming. Seize the day.
That's great.
I love that.
That's so awesome.
I guess mine is the shortest of all then. I really did try to stay within the keep it short and sweet. But I'm excited. Just hearing y'all's is awesome, and I'm excited. Just even kind of rereading mine and seeing some of the similarities. So I'll just dive right in. I was very informal in mine. I just said, "Hey, you," talking to my younger self, just getting started in Agile. Welcome to this brand new world. You have no idea how much you have to learn and how much your view of the world is about to change. Become comfortable with change. You're going to start on a journey of growth, ups, downs, lessons, and friends. It won't all be easy, but it will all be part of a grand adventure. Step forward into your new Agile journey with confidence, an open mind, fresh excitement, and your traveling community. Enjoy the time.
Great.
That's great. Yeah. I should have kept
Love it.
I should have copy edited mine and just shaved some of it out.
I think they're all great.
I feel
Three
like I
different
defied everyone's
perspectives
trust. I told everybody to keep it short, and I went long. Now I'm messed up.
Kristen and I were working on some slides the other day. We're doing a little workshop, and it ended up being supposed to be 90 minutes, and it ended up 130 minutes. And then we went back in, we had timed each slide, and we're like, where are we going to viciously cut? So we cut out. So it was funny how she was like, yep, this is what vicious prioritization is all about.
Yep. Yep.
So George, I hope you learned a lot, man. It was so great having you show up and for us to be able to do this and address this, rookie
thank you
state
so
kinda.
much. I'm so grateful you guys took time to meet with me and coach me.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
Happy to do it. And this is a taste of the community you're interested in becoming a part of. I mean, this right here is, I think, what makes the community work, is people being willing to share, here's my journey. What's yours look like?
Yeah,
It's challenging and rewarding.
yeah, and I mean, just like Heidi and Isaac are here, and they're like friends for life. They're on that journey with you, and that's what's cool. I've made so many friends in this space, and I just keep those relationships going. And you never know when you'll fall back on needing someone's help, advice, or when you could help someone else out, man. So you've entered a really good space.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to reiterate, the Agile community is here to help you in your journey. So please take advantage of that. There are a ton of even Slack communities about Agile, other than, there's of course Agile Florida, which if you're not a member, I encourage you to join, and many other Agile groups. But one last word of maybe encouragement, hopefully. If it was all unicorns and rainbows, they would not need you on their journey. But always remember, you're there to gently guide them.
Oh man, now I got to come out with something, right? So
no pressure.
You guys have heard this before. Maybe not the audience, but I have mentors everywhere. I listen to everybody, like the sponge. But Bob Woods, who we've had on, said that, at one point to me, smooth seas never made a skilled sailor. You don't want those seas to be rocky all the time, man. But by all means, if you're going to become a good sailor, you got to navigate those rough seas sometimes. And that's what you'll have. And you'll get in tough times. And just remember that it's iron sharpens iron. You'll get better. You'll get through it.
Well, I don't have a quote from anybody, but I will say just one final tidbit. This is the journey to really, in my mind, end all journeys, because as you adapt and grow, you're going to get better and stronger and faster and be able to take on more and more. And so this is a lifelong pursuit that is incredibly rewarding. The opportunities to get to do new things and remake yourself, and not just become stuck in, this is the way it works and I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. This is a lifestyle of openness, and kind of goes back to even the name of the podcast, Open to be Agile. That openness, in my opinion, means you're fully engaging life. And by fully engaging life, you're going to have a very rewarding experience. So being an Agilist is a pleasure, and I welcome you into the journey.
George, do you got any advice for anybody starting on this? I mean, you're just taking this road.
Yeah, I mean, reach out to people and ask questions. That's what's gotten me here. I saw something in a textbook about Scrum Master, and I don't regret at all asking Jeff about that, because it's been a lot of fun. And every little meeting I've been to, all the little coffees, I learned so much. And the best resources, like you guys were saying, is listening to people.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us, George. Really glad you made it here. Glad we were able to pull this together. And Heidi, Isaac, thank you again. They're my co-hosts, like my ride or die leaders here, and I could always count on them. George, I've called them many a times for advice or chatted with them, and they've been there to help me out. Anyway,
thanks.
Cool.
Yeah, it's always so great to do this podcast and to connect with everybody.
It is.
I love it. It's a lot of fun.
All
right.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This concludes Agile Jumpstarter. This was short and sweet. I'll be traveling over the next couple weeks, but while I'm traveling, I'm going to try to find any way I can to bring some value, and value that hopefully will be something that can help your Agile journey. Even better yet, maybe something that I bring forward will inspire great conversation, which we'd love to hear from you. Well, till next time, Agile on, my friends. To learn more or to contact us, visit www.coachingagilejourneys.com.